Hello and welcome to live international football from here at Windsor Park as the Northern Ireland women begin their Euro 2025 qualifying campaign. The route to next summer's finals in Switzerland take on a slightly different format than normal. Northern Ireland are in a mini group with three other teams: Portugal, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and tonight's opponents, Malta. They will then potentially play in a playoff towards the end of the year for the right to make it to back-to-back European Championships. A lot of football to be played before then. Let's look back on Northern Ireland's last outing just over a month ago.
Header on goal. Is it the opener? It is. It's a breakthrough for Northern Ireland. Could there be a second here? There it is. Two for Northern Ireland. They double their advantages. Demi Vance. It's finished. Montenegro 0. Northern Ireland 2. Oh, and it's a goal for the visitors, who are now right back in this tie.
Go on. Yes.
The simplest of finishes for Simone McGill, her 25th international goal. And it completely changes the complexion of the tie. Northern Ireland will remain in League B of the Nations League.
So Northern Ireland in the second tier. If you can't quite get your head around the new qualification process for Euro 2025, sit back, relax, and hopefully this will explain it a little bit better.
This phase begins in the first half of 2024 and will serve as the qualification pathway for UEFA Women's Euro 2025. The 4 group winners and 4 runners-up from League A will qualify directly for the final tournament, while 2 rounds of home and away playoffs will determine the remaining qualified teams. The 3rd and 4th placed teams in League A will play the League C group winners and 3 best-ranked runners-up, with the 8 winners progressing to round 2. The 4 group winners and 2 best runners-up in League B will play against the 2 remaining runners-up and 4 third-placed teams of League B, with the 6 winners progressing to round 2. In round 2, the 14 teams will be drawn into 7 ties, and the 7 winners will progress to the final tournament. The UEFA Women's Euro 2025 host is guaranteed a slot in the final tournament, and the playoff paths will be adjusted as necessary to take into account their performance. Additionally, at the conclusion of the European Qualifiers League stage, no promotion and relegation matches will be played. However, automatic promotions and relegations will be reflected in the league composition for the next competition edition. With this dynamic and continuous competition system, where every team can qualify for a major tournament and in which every match matters, there's a lot to look forward to in European women's national team football.
I told you it was a little bit different. Everyone's still trying to get their head around it. There are some of the young supporters inside Windsor Park. It's a lovely evening here. No sign of Storm Kathleen, yet perfect conditions ahead of Northern Ireland's opener in this Euro 2025 qualifying campaign. Rachel Furness is alongside us for this one. There's been a bug in camp this week. It hasn't been smooth sailing for Tanya Oxtoby and her squad. How disruptive can that potentially be for a squad going into this 2-game stretch?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you want a full strength, full fit squad to compete over these 2 games, but I'm sure Tanya and the staff have done what they needed to for the girls and put out the strongest team they can possible tonight to start the campaign off on a high.
When you look ahead to this campaign and you look at the group, Portugal, Malta, Bosnia and Herzegovina, how would you assess Northern Ireland's chances over the next 12 months?
I think it's, we've got to be very excited as a squad. We are going through a transition, as we spoke about earlier on, and it's experienced members of the team now helping bleed in the younger girls, and really thinking we have got a chance to get out of this group, and it's very exciting and a one that I know the girls are going to relish.
Well, let's hear from the manager now, Tanya Oxtoby. She's been speaking with Faith Harper.
Tanya, you've been dealing with a bit of illness in around the squad this week. How's that been?
It's been difficult. It's been a little bit chaotic, but from our point of view, we have to deal with it, and it provides opportunity for other people and other staff to come in and support. So we'll see how tonight goes. But it's been one of those things you can't really control, unfortunately.
It's the first game of the campaign and it's a home game. How important is it to start off with a win?
It's really important in terms of, like for us, we're focusing on the performance, and we want to make sure that we get our structures right and our non-negotiables, to the best of our ability, played out today for the full 90. So if we do that, we'll make sure that we get the result and start the campaign in the best possible way.
And you're facing Malta here tonight, who seem to be quite a dangerous team and probably a pretty good opponent against you tonight.
Yeah, look, they've got dangerous players, and it's not a game that we're taking lightly. It's going to cause us problems. We know that. Whichever team can get control of the game with the ball is going to, I think, probably create the most opportunities. So we weren't successful doing that here the last time, and it's something that we want to be really focused on for this game.
Having played Montenegro in them games, is there anything you learned that you can take into this game today?
Yeah, we need to continue to build on all the things that we've been working on, and like I said, we want to control the game with the ball. Like that's the end goal for us, and we didn't do that against Montenegro at home. We want to start well, we want to be on the front foot, we want to be aggressive. So that will be the aim for me coming in at half time, hopefully happy.
And obviously with that virus, I'd say it'll affect it, but is there any major changes for this evening? Yeah,
there's a few changes. Look, as I said, we adapt. It gives an opportunity for some players to maybe not play in their preferred position. I'll let you guys work that one out when the team sheet comes out.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Tanya.
Very honest and frank, as always, from Tanya Oxtoby. The players are in the tunnel. They're ready. You can see Marissa Callahan just saying a few words to the players in behind. All the hard work, of course, has been done at this stage. Just the formalities before kick-off as Northern Ireland get ready for another qualifying campaign. There are the substitutes. Rebecca Holloway amongst them. Kick-off fast approaching here. And Rachel, what did you make of what Tanya had to say?
I think she was very honest. Sometimes managers tend to hide them and keep things under wraps, but it sounds like the camp have really struggled this week. Fair play to the girls that are walking out tonight, and it might be tougher than usual, but I know the girls will leave everything out there.
The players are on the pitch, the fans are ready. The mission is to make it to Switzerland next summer and Euro 2025 after qualifying for their first ever major tournament in the last European Championships. It could be a long route, but it could have great rewards at the end of it. We now await the two anthems. It's the first time that Northern Ireland have ever played Malta at international level. Let's look at the home side's team and a massive plus in goals. Back comes Jackie Burns. She hasn't played since November 2022. Back in action for her club Reading at the weekend. Back in goals for Northern Ireland tonight. After that, it's a reasonably settled team. The manager spoke about the issues in the camp in regard to a bug. No Rebecca Holloway in the starting lineup. Caldwell, McCarran and Andrews will play in those midfield roles. Marissa Callahan will captain the side. Tanya Oxtoby described Malta as a dangerous team. They're a very good running form. The majority of their players play domestically with Berkir Kara, but look out for Kushieri, Faruja, and most importantly, Bogiela up top. The 19-year-old is winning her 28th cap tonight and already has 19 international goals. Number 21. A few last-minute thoughts in the huddle. What will be said there, Rachel?
I think it's just important we start the game well, start with intensity. And yeah, I know Marissa will be saying a bit along with Simone, and just get the girls ready to go from the start.
Maria Mariotta is the match referee. All the officials are from Italy. And on paper, Malta might not have the greatest world ranking, but the word dangerous, I think, was used very well by Tanya Oxtoby. When you look at some of the quality, some of the clubs that players are playing for, and in particular, Bogiela, the striker I mentioned, playing at AC Milan, playing at a very high level and scoring lots and lots of goals.
Yeah, I think they're going to be very dangerous tonight. They look very good on the ball, and they have got some very good players, so it'll be a massive test for our girls tonight.
Won 5 of their 6 games in the group, 5 clean sheets as well. They did have a little bit of a dodgy run before that in the previous qualifying campaign, but they've scored in their last 12 matches, and they are a team that have found their feet at this level. There is the Malta captain, Emma Lipman. And after a slight delay, we are going to get underway. Cara Hamilton was actually a pundit for BBC last week in the men's international when Michael O'Neill's side upset Scotland at Hampden Park. Back on home turf now and hoping to get Northern Ireland's qualifying campaign underway with a victory. What have you noticed early on, Rachel?
I think straight away you can see Nadine Caldwell is in the back line. I know Tanya spoke of people playing in different positions, and that's maybe, you know, come at the effect of the illness that we have had in the camp. So big night for Dino leading the back line.
No Sarah McFadden, of course, out through injury, not involved this evening. But yes, that no doubt is an indication. She hinted to Faith before the game that they have had to adapt, and it's certainly a role that I don't think that Nadine Caldwell has ever played. Very experienced at this level, though. Normally a central midfielder for both club and country. Outer pressure being put on by Rebecca McKenna. And what will Nadine Caldwell bring to that role?
She brings a lot of experience, and you know she's very, very composed, and she's got a lot of energy in the back line. So you know it's a massive hole to fill without Sarah McFadden. But I know Dino, you know, Tanya's putting the trust in her tonight, and that's for a reason. So I know Dino will step up.
There was the option, of course, to have Demi Vance in particular in that role, but it appears as if she's going to line out in a more conventional position of left back instead. Malta are the lowest ranked team in the group. Lipman plays it forward, little flick on it, she'd run through to Jackie Burns. Huge to have her back.
Yeah, massive. You know, I'm standing here smiling. You know, the girls worked so hard to get back, and she's a real presence in the sticks for us. And was one of the real key moments of us qualifying for the last Euros. You know, she starts every attack for us, so it's massive, and it's excellent to see her back.
And it's a lonely process going through that rehab, as you know.
Yes, it is, and you know, she's had many challenges, but you know, she's worked very hard and deserves to be back out there tonight.
What in particular does she bring to that role? Because having spoken with Gail Redmond, our co-commentator in the past, always talks about her ability with her feet, and do we maybe underestimate her actual goalkeeping credibility as well, and the big saves she's made down through the years also?
Yeah, she has, and I remember Italy away was the first time Jackie really stood out to me. She come and claimed a cross, and she looked like a mountain in goal, and I think that's massive. You know, the confidence we have with Jackie in the sticks will breed confidence into the team.
Maddie Harvey-Clifford, the young goalkeeper, has filled in over the past number of games. She'd started the last 5 internationals before this one. Farrugia, a very experienced figure at the back, winning her 97th cap in this game. Nice blend of youth and experience in the Maltese lineup. Should be dealt with by the left back, Saeed. Rebecca McKenna, good strength. Referee may well have played advantage in that situation. Here's Hamilton. Showed just a little bit too much of it to the Maltese player, but it was good pressure to win it back and find McKenna. Here is Hamilton again. Northern Ireland pushing high up the pitch. It's a good ball by Rafferty to find Demi Vance. She keeps it in play. 3 or 4 targets in the middle. The main one, of course, Simone McGill, but Marissa Callahan also lurking. It's a shot from a long way out from McKenna, and it's a really positive start, Rachel.
Yeah, it is. I think great intent. You know, we've went down the one side, and we've not rushed to just get it in the box. We've moved the ball. We've gone down the other side, and we've then created an opportunity. So good patience and great start from us.
And interesting that Malta tried to play it out from the back. In that situation, rather risky. It's meant that Northern Ireland have kept up the high press and have managed to win it back from Jolie Andrews. Marissa Callahan. Cross to Wade. Diving header away from Farrugia. Recycled to Vanson. Now is Caldwell. Hamilton.
Good patient play.
Almost every player getting a touch already in this attack.
Yeah, you can hear Tanya from the side saying ball speed. So we need to move it quick, draw them out, and find little pockets like Simona's just there.
And there's that little pivot from McGill dropping deep. Interesting that she was the player identified by Malta. And clearly it's a tactic to release Demi Vance down that left-hand side, because there was the fantastic ball from Rafferty, and Marissa Callahan had McCarron there, but then tried to maybe be even more aggressive in finding Vance. So clearly that's something that they've worked on the last couple of days.
Yeah, Demi's so dynamic and she's so powerful going forward, so it is a real strength of ours, and yeah, we've identified that straight away, that's maybe where the space is.
There is Tanya Oxtoby. It's her 9th game in charge, 3 wins, 3 defeats. Sorry, it's her 10th game in charge, 3 wins, 3 defeats and 3 draws during that time.
I think straight away you've seen Simone drop in the pocket, which the defence is then drawn out, and then that created the space for Demi, so good movement. There's
Manuela Tese, the Malta manager. What a pedigree she has. 88 caps for her country, former Italian international. Played at a World Cup and a couple of European Championships as well. Won umpteen honours, 4 Serie A titles, 5 Coppa Italias and a Super Coppa Italia as well. Knows the game inside out. Was the first ever woman from Italy to gain a pro licence. McCarron, that little injection of pace. McGill's look really bright in the early stages. Across to Vance. At times against Montenegro, it was it was a little bit passive, it was a little bit slow. This is anything but in the early stages here, Rachel.
Yeah, it is, and it's been a great fast start, and this is what we want. We really want to put Malta on the back foot. We don't want them to settle in the game, and we don't want them to gain confidence. So yeah, the girls are moving the ball well, and it's great intent from the start.
Picked up by Caldwell, straight away looks for Simone McGill. The pass didn't quite find her, but well, it looked like it was a fair challenge from McGill from here, but the referee, who was very close to it, disagreed. And just relieves a little bit of pressure on the Malta backline. Just another example of the pressing that Northern Ireland have managed to fulfill in the opening 7.5 minutes. Emma Lipman, the captain. A couple of the players in the Malta squad playing their club football in Italy. So nice first touch by Bokella, who is very much kind of stayed on the left-hand side of that three up top in the early stages. But when you score that many goals at that age at international level, I'm sure that would have been discussed at length within the Northern Ireland camp, and a game plan formatted by Tanya Oxtoby. McGill's touch doesn't let her get away from the defender, but it's given away cheaply to Marissa Callahan. Interesting, she elects for the throw-in. We know how good Demi Vance can be from a position like that. I thought about going long. I think instead it's going to go short to Lauren Wade. Free kick. Big chance with the likes of Laura Rafferty and Caldwell coming up. Here's another look at the foul itself. Flicked inside by Wade, and then it was a hand from Maria Ferrugia, who was penalised and led this piece.
Yeah, you can see Malta have maybe recognised that we could be dangerous from set pieces. They brought everyone back to defend this.
Such a congested penalty area, shifted across to McKenna, and now McCarran. Clearly something that's been worked out in the tuning ground. Drifts over the head and doesn't quite come off, but the way that Northern Ireland set up with Vance on the left-hand side, and then Chloe McCarran a little bit closer to us, it is something that they may well have looked at.
Yeah, I see what Chloe's tried to do there. She just didn't execute it. We've obviously tried to change the angle to then draw them out a bit, and yeah, she's just not executed that as well as she wanted to.
So in terms of your calendar, it's Malta at home, followed by Tuesday's game away against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then it's Portugal doubleheader in June, the first match away, the second at home. Malta on the 12th of July, followed by the home game against Bosnia and Herzegovina on the 16th. Here's McCarran.
Great ball, well done, Demi.
It's been a really confident start, and
yeah, I think straight away there, Demi, she's played through the lines. I think in the last game against Montenegro, I think we were too safe.
Right on time. That was a perfect example of it. Those little triangles working out early on. No Everton goal in the opening 10 minutes is Rafferty's foul. Interesting to hear Tanya Oxtoby speak about Rafferty. They worked together earlier in Laura Rafferty's career, and she's spoken about her being a real leader, a real force at the back.
Yeah, Laura's so professional in everything she does. She really leads by example on the pitch, and it's great that Tanya sees her as one of the leaders, because you know she's really stepped up in that role. She's
had to be patient at times as she grown at international level in the past 12 to 18 months to feel?
Yeah, she has, and that just shows how hard she's worked. That, you know, I remember having a conversation with her a few camps ago, and she didn't know if she was going to make the camp. So I just think that just shows how hard she's worked. And you know, Tanya's seen that leadership skills in her, and she's warranted another start, which is fantastic.
Do you feel that she's most at home at centre half? She's obviously maybe played a little bit in midfield in that, you know, defensive role that maybe Chloe McCarron's probably played a little bit more, but you know, she's been between those two positions. You feel she's very much an out-and-out centre half and looks most comfortable there?
Yeah, I do think that's a most comfortable position, but Tanya plays that versatile, so you know, if one game she needs Laura to play centre mid, I know she'll do that and she'll give everything to that. But yeah, she's a real leader at the back for us and very composed on the ball. Likes to drive in and pick passes. And I've just jinxed her right there, but
that wasn't bad, because normally when commentators say things like that, Rachel, ends up in a horror show. That actually went pretty close to its intended target.
Yeah, but that just shows she's very composed on the ball and brings the calmness in the back line.
So too does Jackie Byrne. She's had quite a few touches already. She's always playing that sweeper keeper role, coming a long way out of her goal. Cap number 46 this evening for the 27-year-old.
And that's good to see. You can just see her on screen there. She's leading from the back. She's talking to the players. She's organising, and that helps so much when someone's talking behind you.
Lippman does very well to emerge. It's a crunching tackle between the two captains. It's worked out nicely for Malton, that could be in here through the middle. A little bit hesitant initially, but it's moved across to the right-hand side. And there was a real opening for Borg. I don't think she was quite aware how much time she had, because the two centre halves almost stood off her just here.
I don't know why she didn't shoot. I'm glad she didn't, but that was a real opportunity for Malta, and we need to really be aware and be careful of that, because she's a dangerous player.
So too is Lippman. It was a really robust challenge on Marissa Callahan. The two players bounced up straight away, but just a sign that Lippman can have an impact further up the pitch. Here's Cara Hamilton. Flag stays down so far. Hamilton just waits for support and wins a corner kick. Looked like she'd shown a little bit too much of it, the defender, just as she was waiting for runners into the middle. Northern Ireland unbeaten their last 2 games, and when you talk about the home record, they've lost only 2 of their last 14 competitive games, and that was to the Republic of Ireland and England during that stretch. Demi Vance placing the ball. No McFadden in the middle. Big threat from these situations. Really good delivery, and it was Caldwell almost getting her head onto it. Good defending in the end. It was Lippman, I think, who may well have got it. Ferrugia was also very close. Here's another look at it. Yeah, it was Lippman. A tall, imposing figure in there. Andrews. Lower Rafferty wanted it a little bit further up, but no pressure being put on Caldwell. Simone McGill certainly seems to have Lippman for company throughout the opening quarter of an hour, as McKenna scurries across and gets there, wins the throw-in in the process. Or has she? She thought she had. She's claiming for it. I'm not sure if it flicked off her right foot, but she had that innocent look as she glanced up at the official, and I think the assistant closest to us was actually giving it Northern Ireland's way, and then the referee overruled her. Decent turn. Good challenge though from McKenna. Northern Ireland have to get rid of it in their own box. It's Chloe McCarron who lashed it against one of the opposition, out for a goal kick, even though the visiting players felt it should have been a corner. And from that look, they were probably right.
Corner, yeah.
There is the managers referring to earlier. 47 now. Came into the role about 18 months ago. McGill. Good play to pick out Callahan. Pull back just behind McGill. Instead it's Cara Hamilton. Couldn't get an effort on goal, and
yeah,
the signs are there that Northern Ireland are knocking on the door, certainly.
Yeah, we are. Unfortunately, Cara's touch there just let her down. But it was a great pick out by Wade. She's realised we haven't got numbers in the box, and Cara was free on the edge. But yeah, touch just let her down.
And you can see Lauren Wade head up the whole time, just waiting and waiting and waiting for the right option. 17 minutes played here at Windsor Park. Northern Ireland have certainly dominated possession, and whilst they haven't really worked the goalkeeper, it's been a confident start to this qualifying campaign. England are actually the last team to hold Northern Ireland scoreless in their last 13 competitive home games. So it's not just Malta who have been good in front of goal. I know we've kind of joked about the qualification process and even beforehand the Nations League, but the run that Malta have had and topping the League C and now coming up to this second tier of the competition, does that show that it works? That you can get countries having momentum playing against sides of a similar standard, or are you old school and you want to have a shot at some of the biggest teams in the continent?
Say I am a bit old school, and yeah, I want to get the big hitters. Like look how we qualified for the last Euros. You know, that was a fantastic route, and in a one to where we did test ourselves against the best. But on the flip side, you know, Malta, they're coming in with you know, the unbeaten, I think you said, in the last 7 or 9 games, and they're coming in with momentum, and that does so much for teams. So yeah, if we were playing against big teams and they'd maybe come in with 7 losses, you might be seeing a different Malta team. So yeah, it's for me, I'm old school, but I do see how it works.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the format is also maybe eventually adopted in the men's format as well, because there are obviously mismatches there, and perhaps the powers that be would like the top countries playing against one another, and obviously the lucrative nature of what that can potentially bring, and it can also almost stop upsets, if you like, and you know, that's probably why you're more old school, because it does make it so much harder for an underdog to make it there.
Yeah, it does, and for me, football's all about upsets. You know, Northern Ireland, we've been the underdogs for many years, and when we did qualify, it was a massive upset, and I think that made it sweeter.
This is lovely play. Callahan blocked down. She had an option on this near side in Hamilton, but when Northern Ireland have played the ball quickly like this,
yeah, I think
they've looked so good.
Yeah, and then it's 1 and 2 touch, and I think if we take 2-3 touches in the defensive third, that's when they're really shutting us down. So I think if we limit touches, we can play around them and be really, really successful.
Ferrugia played across to the right-hand side, but you can see the frustration of the Malta coach on the edge of her technical area, the way her side haven't been able to hold on to the ball. There she is again.
Yeah, she's been very vocal on the side, so I'm sure she's demanding that they up their standards and play their game.
Get involved using the hashtag BBC Football at BBC Sport NI on social media. How do you think it'll pan out for Northern Ireland over the qualifying campaign? The games do come thick and fast, because after those July fixtures, 3 of the 4 teams within the group will go into a playoff semi-final. In Northern Ireland's case, it'll be a a playoff against fellow League B teams. So 4 more matches potentially, and by the end of the year we will know who is heading to Switzerland. Still scoreless here. Callahan just drops a little bit deeper than we've seen here for the majority of this match, and threads a lovely ball through to Vance. Unable to pick out a teammate in the middle, but may well get a second bite of the cherry. For all of Northern Ireland's possession, Malta have looked pretty solid back there.
Yeah, they have, and I think just an example there, Demi, she's took a touch before she's crossed. She's had a look, whereas to me, she's got the quality to cross that first time, and that's when Malta's facing the own goal, and we can really pose a threat at that. So I think if we just do things a little bit quicker in the final third, will cause a bit more of a threat. Well,
the big frustration for Tanya Oxtoby said during this opening 22 minutes, despite all the good things that we're talking about here and the nice build-up play, there hasn't been an effort on goal yet. Maybe that might, well, it won't change from this attack because the flag's up on this near side, but will that be the thing that will annoy her a little bit?
Yeah, possibly. I do think she will be very pleased that we're possessing the ball very well and we're moving the ball with speed. But yeah, Tanya has high standards, and I know she'll demand that we create opportunities, because it's not a possession game at the end of the day. It's scoring goals. So yeah, she'll want to see efforts on target, definitely.
We've mentioned the fact that there have been challenges in terms of the playing staff and the squad overall. There have also been issues with the management in regard to that, Bug. So there's been a little bit of chopping and changing behind the scenes for Tanya Oxtoby. She's been very grateful for the wider Northern Ireland teams at various different age groups. Here's Vance on the left-hand side.
Great ball.
McGill, spilled by the keeper and away by Farrugia. It's the best opening so far. It's into that position that Simone McGill loves to attack. All it needed was a touch in that scenario.
Yeah, I think just the example I just spoke of earlier on, Demi's touch, she's got out of her feet and just bent it around the defence, and those crosses are so hard to defend.
McGill now, the creator, points to her. She wanted Chloe McCarron to make the run. Great footwork from McCarron. Opens up that little bit of space. Might have a go, Chloe McCarron. Entitled to it after that good footwork. Scored a brilliant goal in qualifying for the last Euros. Let's look at those 2 chances back to back. Demi Vance, head up, at pace. Such an inviting ball in. Goalkeeper did well though. An experienced goalkeeper, Janice Zureb. And then the effort from just outside the box from Chloe McCarron. Caldwell hasn't massively been tested in terms of the defensive effort by Malta, but her positioning, as you would expect, has been bang on, and she's having an impact on the ball as well. So comfortable in possession.
Yeah, she is, and I think that just shows how comfortable we are in possession at the minute, how high Laura and Dino are there. We've really got Malta camped in.
Scored that goal, of course, that booked qualification, the settling second goal against Ukraine at Seaview. Rachel Furness, despite being on crutches, was on the pitch seconds after that, bouncing about and enjoying the celebrations. That booked a spot in England, and how Northern Ireland would dearly love to be back at that level once again.
Yeah, and what a finish from Dino it was that day. I think I was more in shock that she sat the keeper down. She finished it like a...
Just her second international goal. It's not a bad second international goal to have.
No, honestly, it was fantastic, and probably one of the most important international goals that has been scored.
It sparked celebrations at Seaview. I suppose that the only regret was that it was at the height of COVID, so there were no supporters inside the ground, and the players whilst I'm sure it was lovely to enjoy in that close-knit group together, you would love to have had a packed ground for what was a milestone moment for the women's game here. A milestone moment for football here, given how few competitions at that level Northern Ireland have qualified for.
Yeah, I remember walking out the stadium that night and cars were going past beeping the horn, so we still really felt the love from everyone that was watching back home. But yeah, it was a very special moment that hopefully we can have another moment like that and share it with the fans this time.
Here's Marissa Callahan. Was a captain on that night and still has the armband now. Jolie Andrews has become a key component of Tanya Oxtoby's side. Another player who had to be patient, was given a few minutes at the Euros over in Southampton as a young player, but has grown in that role.
Yeah, she has, and I've just been looking at her there. She's constantly scanning, she's constantly removing, wanting to get on the ball, and she's such a young, intelligent footballer.
Another great delivery, by the way. Demi Vance must be listening to you.
I hope so. No, Demi's got a fantastic cross on her, and hopefully one of them does come off and someone gets on the end of it.
Winning her 93rd cap tonight, Demi Vance. Here's Jolie Andrews. We were just talking about her a moment ago, and that epitomises exactly what Rachel was saying. Always on her toes and dispossessed the Malta midfielder, and there was a good effort in the end. Goalkeeper did well to hold on to it. So Reb, just get the impression that Northern Ireland are turning the screw a little bit, if you like, and just forcing things a little bit more in that final third area.
Yeah, it's important we stay patient, we keep moving it, stick to the game plan, and you know, Malta will switch off at one point and we'll need to capitalise on that, but it's sticking to the game plan and not getting too frustrated.
The hats are on, but there's still quite a few shirts on show. It's a nice evening here in South Belfast. No need for the floodlights really yet here at Windsor Park, and that could well be it's going to be a talking to for Lipman, the captain, after she brought down Jolie Andrews. You can see Demi Vance, so not hanging about. She wants to get play back underway quickly. No card for the Malta skipper.
It's an intelligent foul. I'd be happy if one of us done that, sorry, because we were on the break, and yeah, very intelligent from an experienced defender.
You said you know her?
Yeah, I've played against Emma Lipman a few years back. She used to play for Man City, and yeah, she's been in the English game, and now I believe she's playing in Italy, and she's been there a number of years, but very experienced defender.
And she's showing that in the opening half hour here. Looks to be the leader at the back. Has the armband to show it as well. Simone McGill loves putting pressure in that back line. Caldwell. Can Northern Ireland turn their territorial dominance and possession on the ball into goals? Both McCarron and also Andrews have had chances in the last wee while. Here's McKenna. There's a free kick. I think the referee signalled initially that she was going to play advantage, but when it didn't transpire, she brought it back for this set piece, and again it's in a nice part of the pitch to try and make something happen from.
I think that what stands out to me from the last game against Montenegro, I can hear the girls talking to each other, and I think that allows us to move the ball quicker. We're communicating, we're telling each other to turn, ball speed, and I think that's been a massive plus at the start of this game.
There's a very different feel to this game. I know there have been no goals so far, but it's a lot more fluent, it's a lot more aggressive in many ways, and you've two Glentoran players standing over this free kick. It's played in low. Again, the intricate set piece doesn't quite come off.
I don't know if it's just from my angle, but I feel like that was a left foot there. Demi could have hit that. I think the goalkeeper left half the goal open, and you know, you've seen Demi hit that from sea view, so I think she should have backed herself there, being a bit selfish.
Well, it was interesting that over on the other side, it was when you would have thought that Demi Vance might have crossed it, it was Julie Andrews standing over the ball. So you know, international football is so often about defending set pieces and attacking set pieces, and well, that was played in low, and you can see the dialogue going on between Vance and Andrews still.
Yeah, the girls have clearly worked on something in training, and yeah, it's not quite come off, but you can tell they're trying something different.
Callahan closed down, flag was up on this near side anyway. The referee hasn't had a great deal to do so far, no cards yet. A few nails been bitten in there, and still an hour left, guys. No need to show signs of worry yet. And that Montenegro game, there were times where it felt a little bit nervy, didn't it, as opposed to this?
Yeah, I think the whole stadium was a bit nervy that night, and understandable. You know, I feel like there's just more excitement in the stadium this time, and you can tell by how the girls are expressing themselves on the ball. They look a lot more confident, passing it about. So I think it's just excitement that we're starting a new campaign.
Maria Ferrugia was down in that last attack and was looking across the referee, felt the play perhaps should have been stopped, but instead it continued and came to nothing from Malta's point of view. Good work from Demi Vance again. There's a challenge that led to the injury. It looked accidental from Chloe McCarran, trying to get out of the way of her opposite number. She's a very hands-on coach, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Even in the little snippets that we see, you know, as part of sessions, and it's only typically maybe the first 10 minutes, it's very vocal, it's very active, she's very involved in it.
Yeah, she is, and that, I guess that just comes with the passion and drive that she has as a manager, and she wants to get the best out of the players. Tanya wants to improve the young girls coming through and allow them to compete, and that's why she's given so many opportunities.
Nice passage of play from Malta, but it's a good challenge from Rafferty. Is she very demanding in that role? I don't mean overly demanding. I mean, as in, does she want the players to maybe step outside their comfort zones in that sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I think if you want to play international football and you want to play at the highest level, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And yeah, she's challenging the whole squad every camp. I just hear bits now. There's been a few camps I've not been in. I hear bits, but it's all positive, and it's all the girls learning and developing individually and collectively. And yeah, Tanya raises the standards every camp because she learns that little bit more about the squad.
Some defending to do right now. There is the manager from this set piece, and well, Malta haven't had that many opportunities inside the Northern Ireland half. It's the experienced Cuscieri from Sampdoria, on the verge of her 100th cap, may well surpass that century in this qualifying campaign.
Northern Ireland have went for a very high line, so it'll be interesting what comes of this.
Nothing came of it, and I suppose the high line almost entices players to play that ball, and when it works, it's great. Yeah. When it doesn't, you can look a little bit silly, but it makes the free kick taker feel as if there's perhaps something on that isn't.
Yeah, no, it's brave, and yeah, it's come off and it does look great, but I just think it's brave, and I think that's how we've started the game. We're brave on the ball, and we're brave in defending set pieces, so it's really good to see.
McKenna tigerish as always. And then a little toe from McCarron gets it back to Laura Rafferty. 44th cap this evening. Wade has looked really good in positions like this. Another decent delivery, but Zureb has looked very confident from those crosses so far. A couple of tricky ones to deal with in the air, and then also the two driven ones by Vance in towards Simone McGill. That pressure up the pitch is certainly working. Farrugia this time unable to control the ball. Crucial period before the break. Callahan giving away a little bit too easily, but kept the pressure on. Malta finished 4th in their qualifying group for the World Cup, behind Italy, Bosnia and Denmark, but effectively finished bottom of the group because Russia, who were below them, were pointless. Picked up a couple of wins against Montenegro, who Northern Ireland of course faced at the end of February, and also Azerbaijan. Lipman plays it forward towards the centre circle, and it's back with the home side. McKenna.
Nadine might not like me saying this, but she looks like a natural at centre-half. She looks very composed, and she's been very good on the ball, on and off the ball. Yeah, she started the game very well.
Yeah, look very comfortable. And perhaps Tanya Oxtoby feels it's a role that she will play as time goes on, but obviously you'd expect Sarah McFadden to come in there when she is fit. But of all the players that perhaps we suspected might be alongside Laura Rafferty, Nadine Caldwell probably wasn't on that list before the game. The last 39 minutes, so may well have changed that opinion in the future. If you're just joining us, Northern Ireland had been hit by a bug in the camp over the last number of days, so there's been a little bit of chopping and changing. A couple of players unable to play any part this evening. Management team also impacted by it. But so far it's been a really accomplished display at Windsor Park. Good on the ball, aggressive in possession. The only thing they haven't managed to do so far has been find a net. Five to go to half-time. Taken short. Cara Hamilton comes across and tries to close down Cushieri. Here is Burns. Malta under no real there's no real sense of urgency as they prepare to take the throw, and I think they'd be happy enough to go in at the break with this scoreline, given they haven't created anything really in the final third. Just as I say, that is picked up by the danger player, Bacheja. Wade. Northern Ireland have looked so dangerous down the left-hand side. Callahan. Waits for the runners. And the flag was up, and that'll frustrate Marissa Callahan. Good defensive work again, though, by Malta. Looked vulnerable a few seconds before, but recovered well and then stepped up as a group. That should be covered by Vance. Caldwell. Can Northern Ireland find a goal before the break?
Yeah, you can just hear the crowd trying to get the girls back up. Tempo's dropped a little. We've given the ball away a few times, so we need to gain control, and the crowd's trying to help with that.
Okay. Caldwell. Tries to lift it forward and find McKenna.
Sorry, just seeing there, Jolie dropped in a good pocket. She's in great space. We just need to maybe look for that. I think Malta have recognised that we'll keep on going out wide, and if they're then stopping us doing that, the pockets are in then centrally, so we need to change it up a bit.
Yeah, we'll be trying to close down that pivot. It was very effective on 3 or 4 occasions, especially with the likes of Lauren Wade coming inside and having the runner of Demi Vance in the left and McKenna in the right. And it's interesting, even watching you watch the game, because you're so familiar with that area, the pitch, you kind of know exactly what's going to be going through the heads of the likes of a McCarran and Andrews, and you're wanting them to go sometimes, or maybe sit and open up, just like Julie Andrews is right now.
Yeah, you can see she's constantly looking to get in half space in the pockets, and she's constantly scanning. But if we don't give her the ball early, then the gaps close up. So yeah, it's just the girls getting on the same wavelength again, and maybe playing some dangerous passes.
Is that the word that you've used a couple of times? Bravery, is that where it comes in?
Yeah, it is. When you play balls more central, it's risk and reward. So I think if we're a little bit braver, if the space isn't out wide, then we need to come a bit more central. It's just being brave to play them balls.
Andrews tries to cut it back. McGill goes down,
yes,
recovers and scores. It was all about perseverance, and I think the referees actually said it's a handball in there. I don't think she's given it. Simone McGill was on the ground, almost looked to be
a penalty,
pulled down potentially, recovered, flicked it goalwards. Let's have a look at it and see, did the referee get this one right? Good play initially by Andrews, cuts it back. Is there a hand here? Not there.
No.
Not there. We're going to look at that one again, but I think Simone McGill can feel very harshly done by, on first viewing, to have that goal ruled out. And that was certainly what the referee was suggesting. The referee had her arm out and was saying it was a hand in there. Now, it wasn't a conventional goal, it wasn't a conventional finish, but I don't think from that replay there appeared to be a hand. Let's see. So there's the touch. Down goes McGill.
That's very harsh if it is. That, I think, brushed her knuckle, but for me, the referee couldn't have seen that.
So it's almost as a clearance is taking place. McGill then tries to swivel and force it goalwards, and while she's getting up, she's obviously having this conversation with Cara Hamilton right now. She will say it's a goal regardless. I don't know if that fan's looking at the replay and the BBC iPlayer, but we will talk about it at length, I would have thought, over half-time. And there you go, there's a young supporter who wants Demi Vance's jersey at the end of the game at half-time. It is scoreless, but Northern Ireland in the final seconds of that first half had a goal disallowed. After 45 minutes, so at Windsor Park in this Euro 2025 qualifier, it is Northern Ireland 0, Malta 0.
When you step out onto the field or find your place on the grid, what's in front of you is opportunity.
Here we go then, watching the lights.
Your chance to change the story.
Here we go! What a goal! Oh, wonderful stuff. And that was an absolute gem. To the goal, brilliant finish. And it's in, surely! Yes! What a day in Tunis.
Unrivaled coverage of your favourite sports.
Just doesn't get any better.
From BBC Sport Northern Ireland.
So let's look back at the biggest moments of that first half, and this one is a big talking point. We can keep on looking at this just to make sure, because there's the cutback, there's the initial touch.
I think as the Malta player has hit it, she maybe thinks it's Simone's hand.
Normally you can go by a player's reaction, and is there a hand there? That's probably the most clear-cut version of it. There's a touch. We're going to slow this down as much as we can. I'm not sure there is.
No, I think it's the Malta boot coming through.
I'm sorry, I'm going to really annoy the guys in the truck, Michael and Gary. And can we see that another couple of times, just to clear this one up? Michael and Gary are in the truck, spooling backwards, trying to get us the best view of it. This is it in real time. So this is a wide shot here. And we're looking at number 4 and number 9 who are involved. Look at where the referee is as well. Very close to it.
Her boot.
I'm not sure. I know we're not zooming in here, and I know probably we're not saying a huge amount when we're looking back, but I'm sure supporters doing the same thing. Here you can see the right luminous boot of Simone McGill, and you can see the studs almost of Lippmann. Yep. She tries to clear, and maybe Simone McGill gets in the way. Now, I'll come to the defence of the referee. Is the referee maybe saying it's a free kick, and she's giving it as a free kick for a foul, or?
So this boot here, look, as it, the top of the boot touches it.
Yeah, it's a boot. It's a boot.
Yeah.
But does the referee give it for a free kick, or for a foul? But certainly the arm was out, and that was a suggestion that it was a hand.
I think as the boot has hit it, she's thought it was Simone's hand.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was what I thought it was given for. And here it is again. There's a turn. And it's a free kick.
I don't understand why
it's a free kick out, and you can see the arm going up of the referee, and it was just after this that you could see that she was saying to Simone McGill, it's a handball, it's an arm. But look, it hasn't been given. What's it like in a situation like that where you feel that you scored a goal that should have been given? It would have completely changed the complexion of the halftime team talk, I would have thought, and you're going in slightly aggrieved.
Yeah, you feel a bit robbed, and I think if we're going in 1-0 half-time, it's a completely different conversation. But you know, we need to have more opportunities at goal, and we're dominating, so we need to put something in the back of the net. And I think Malta will be happy it's 0 at half-time, and they'll be to really build on that, because, you know, yeah, they've got a massive second half, and they'll be happy that they're still in the game, haven't conceded as much possession as they have.
So Northern Ireland are in League B of this qualifying process. The Republic of Ireland are in Group A and are in a very, very difficult group. England amongst the sides that they will face, Sweden as well. Tonight it is an away clash against France. It gets underway in about 20 minutes time, and let's hear from the Republic of Ireland camp and the midfielder Tyler Tolan.
I mean, France are an incredible side, as we all know, so we'll obviously have to do our homework, be really well prepared to go into the game and give it our everything really and put on a performance for the fans.
Since you came back, we've had great success in the Nations League. How much did you enjoy that under Eileen?
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. I think we had a lot of success in the last campaign. So yeah, this will be a new challenge for us. This campaign, obviously playing really high quality teams. So we're going to be really hard to beat, and yeah, just do what we can really.
Do you think positionally were you playing more as a six? Is that where you think your role might be in this campaign?
I mean, that would be my natural position. To be fair, I play there for both club and country. So yeah, I would play anywhere. If Eileen asked me to play in nets, I would play in nets, no problem. But yeah, I would say that.
Courtney might have something to say about that.
She would. But yeah, no, that would be my natural position. So yeah, we'll see what happens really.
Is it a position though where a lot of work is unseen in a way?
I think the sixth role really is to break up play and maybe recycle the ball and give the ball to players higher up the pitch to do their magic, you know.
And that's something we hope you can do. I mean, look at the games that you did play in. I mean, what were the highlights for you? I mean, we were scoring for fun, it seemed.
I mean, my biggest highlight was playing Aviva against Northern Ireland. Obviously, it was my first game back, so it was an incredible experience. But yeah, hopefully loads more of that to come.
And how proud has your family been of your return to the Irish fold?
Yeah, obviously it's a really proud moment for both me and for my family. But yeah, I'm back now and I'm just really looking to push on and really enjoy it, as I have done since coming back in.
Talk to me again about the Aviva though. You had that experience against Northern Ireland. We now have a massive game coming up against England. How much do you admire them and how much have you seen them, the current European champions of course?
I mean, like I said, with France, England as well, they're one of the best teams in the world, both their individual players and the team as a whole. We obviously have to give them the respect they deserve. But we're going to be going into the game well prepared, confident, and yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Talk about us then. Who in our team can hurt opposition of that calibre?
I mean, we have some really, really good players as well, with the likes of Katie and Denise, who are world-class players. So yeah, I think we'll just come together as a team really and be ready to go.
Former Science Swiss midfielder Tyler Tolan speaking to RT's Tony O'Donoghue. Plenty of the supporters, no doubt, will be looking in that big penalty shout before the break. But the domestic campaign is about to get back underway here. The NIFL Premiership, and amongst the new faces we expect to make an impact is Alex Clark. She comes from Crossmaglen in South Armagh and a famous Gaelic football family. Has had a difficult last couple of years bouncing back from injury, and she's been speaking ahead of the new season to BBC Sport Northern Ireland.
I couldn't turn it down. I obviously had an injury there back in February, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, and obviously Mags and Liam at First for Players had contacted me, and this was the team that came in, and I went for it. So yeah, growing up, you know, my brothers, that's all we done in the park was football all the time, and then obviously coming from such a Gaelic background across Crossmaglen, you know, it was always going to be number one. But I think growing up, you know, that's where I maybe got the basics from playing football in the park all the time, and the skills, you know, it definitely helped me.
And look, you mentioned your injury there, and you've had a tough time over the past 3 or 4 years. Can you sort of talk me through your journey of what's happened and how it's taken you to this point?
Yeah, listen, it's part and parcel of the sport. A lot of footballers get injured, you know, and I've just been an unlucky one with two of them, you know. But listen, I think it has made me stronger, and having the time off, being injured, has given me a lot of time to think. And I think everything happens for a reason, you know. Listen, I've had a couple of tough years, but it is what it is. Have to get on with it now. I'm very lucky to have what I have now, and I just have to embrace it and enjoy it, you know.
And just on the injuries, you know, it was two very similar injuries to different legs. You know, the first one you could put down to bad luck, but when the second one happened, what was sort of going through your head?
You know, when it happened the second time, I think when it happened the first time, I was, you know, I got up and got on with it. You know, I says, right, I'll get back from this. But when it happened again, of course, you know, you're thinking, you know, why me? And you're feeling sorry for yourself. But I think, you know, the first one made me strong. So I knew I had to get through it if I wanted to get back and play at a top level, you know.
And how deep do you have to dig, I suppose, to come back from an injury like that?
Listen, obviously from the first one, you know, I went through the pain and all, so I sort of knew what I was doing. I suppose in terms of the gym stuff, everything's sort of similar. It's similar to an ACL, I suppose. You know, all the rehab and single leg stuff and all that kind. It was similar. So, yeah, I think the first couple of months now was tough. It was tough. I struggled, you know, but I have good people around me and helped me get back. And then obviously I got lucky with this here, so I think that drove me on. It was a goal then for me to get back. I suppose when it happened initially, I was kind of going, what am I doing this for? You know, that kind of way. But now I have my answer now.
And just with Linfield this season, obviously you got Glentoran and Cliftonville, you know, they're full of international players left, right and centre, but Linfield sort of took a big step forward last year, and is the target this season to take another step forward closer to the top two?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be up there with the likes of Glentoran and Cliftonville, you know. I suppose when I was at Newry a few years back, Linfield was that team, you know, so I definitely, the squad is unbelievable, and I think we're good enough to get back to the top, and I hope that I can help them achieve that.
Alex Clark speaking with Andy Gray for BBC Sport Northern Ireland. Coming back, of course, from those two difficult injuries. Rachel, you know all about that in terms of the rehab and in terms of, you know, maybe the doubt, if you like. You know, listening to that inspiring story of a young player who has battled back from all that and now wants to make an impact. That you can't help but root for her, can you?
No, I know, and until you're injured, you don't realise how hard it is, and it's not so much physically. That's tough in itself, but it's mentally getting back out there as well. And yeah, it's a very inspiring story, and it's good to see her back. And yeah, injuries unfortunately are part and parcel of the game, and yeah, you're very lucky if you go through your career and you don't get one.
How close are you? Great seeing social media back. You know, you look like you're certainly making progress, and you know the first thing that Tanya Oxtoby said was, "What a goal midweek."
Don't think many people know about that, but yes, I'm close to being back. I'm back in full training, which is very nice, and it's almost like I feel like it's pre-season again. I'm building up. You know, I've been out for 4.5 months, so I've got to be sensible with it. I've got to be a bit smart, but
you excited to get back?
Yeah, I'm standing here with a smile on my face. I'm so excited to get back and hopefully become a part of this group again. And yeah, if not, I'm the biggest fan as always, but I'm very close, and yeah, I'm happy to be back out there on the pitch.
Portugal in June?
I've heard it's very hot in Portugal.
Well, there are two games coming up. I'm sure there are a lot of supporters walking around the pitch with Rachel Furness for an international. The interaction with the fans, there were chants of Furness on fire. Plenty of the supporters asking how she's doing. Plenty of supporters want her back in the group. I'm sure a lot of those players do as well. We'll find that out in the coming months. But right now in 2024, it's scoreless at half-time. Let's look back at some of those chances in the first half that Northern Ireland created. Obviously the big talking point, the big chance was just before the break, that goal ruled out by Simone McGill. And there's Tanya Oxtoby. Just confirmation that herself and Rachel aren't wearing the same coat. They are two separate coats. They just have a similar fashion sense.
I heard there was a bug in camp. And, you know, if I needed to step in on the sidelines for Tanya, I would.
So you were going to leave me in the lurch. You didn't let me know about this. I think Tanya would have been happy enough, because when you arrived, she was offered her pass, and I think there would be not many challenges over the next couple of days. She would have gladly had you on the edge of the technical area. I'm very thankful you're up here in the comedy box instead. Imagine you were the manager in there. What would you have said in the dressing room?
Keep possessing the ball, keep moving it with speed, and yeah, the opportunities will come. We just need to be a bit more cutthroat, and I think win it back higher up. We start first 5-10 minutes of the game, we'll win it back higher up, keep the pressure on, run until we're empty, and that's why we've got a squad. We've got legs on the bench to come on.
Did anything concern you about Malta?
I think we've seen a few sparks, but the concerning thing for me is, you know, there'll be a chance in the game. We've seen it in the last game against Montenegro. We need to not switch off at any point. And as much possession that we do have, it's still 0-0 at the end of the day, so they're still very much in the game.
Well, it looks like there is going to be a change in the Malta lineup. There's plenty of dialogue going on in there. Actually, it's not a change. It was Sultana who was getting a breakdown of what the management team wanted from her in the second 45 minutes. And the second 45 minutes are about to get underway here at Windsor Park. Scoreless in this opening game in qualification for the European Championships in 2025, a 16-team tournament. England are, of course, the defending champions. The music is about to be faded out, and the action is about to get back underway. So no changes for either side. Farrugia had a decent opportunity in the first half when it opened up, but I don't think Jackie Burns has had a save to make. And interestingly, as I say that, she rushed out of her goal. She's almost kind of halfway in the Northern Ireland half. She's kind of about 45 yards or 40 yards outside her goal. Desperate to get part of the action and try and push Northern Ireland forward. Rafferty. Everyone except Burns right now inside the Malta half. Rafferty. Jolie Andrews nipping at the heels of Zamet. Now it's switched across to the far side, and Bogeja, the Inter Milan striker that we give the big build-up to, but hasn't really done too much so far. Part of this attack, and here she is on the ball, played in towards the middle, and falls nicely. It's a good hit. It's a great hit from Zamet, and that's definitely been the best spell that we've seen from Malta so far in this game. It looks like whatever was said in their dressing room at half-time has had an instant impact.
Yeah, I think they were very happy to go in at 0-0, and they've started the second half with real intent and on the front foot, and that was a very big chance.
And Burns did look to have it covered, but was scurrying across to make sure she did in the opening minute of this second half. If you're just joining us, no Sarah McFadden, she's out injured for this game and unavailable, a real leader in the dressing room. Nadine Caldwell's playing as centre half. Jackie Burns is back after a long layoff, hasn't been involved with Northern Ireland since November of 2022. Apart from that, it's a reasonably experienced unit out there. Controversy at the end of the first half, as it appeared as if the referee had ruled out a Simone McGill goal for a handball, and Rachel and I have looked at it about 25 times, and whilst we're not definite, it certainly doesn't look like the ball did hit the hand of the Aston Villa striker. Here's Andrews. Hamilton, no room to work with at all on the far side as she battles with Said. Andrews again. Does very well to find McKenna, two of the young guns, and that was good strength from Jolie Andrews, who isn't the tallest player. Used her body very well and managed to get it towards McKenna, and it's resulted in a corner kick. Should have mentioned this before, but Maria Ferrugia, the striker, is actually a teammate of Cara Hamilton's at Lewis. She's back in her own penalty area now. Oh, Vance actually kicked the corner flag as she tried to play it in. Maybe we'll get another opportunity, and it's towards the near post, this time spilled as far as McGill. Referee says stand up. McGill went down again. There were a couple of challenges flying in there. I think two defenders had gone to ground, and referee was defiant in saying that there were no infringements in there.
That's happened quickly, but I think that's a penalty. I think she touched her. She caught her.
Well, that appeared to be the first reaction of a lot of people inside the stadium. Here's McCarran. Can't keep it in play. Let's look back at it. So this is the incident initially where Demi Vance made contact with the corner flag. It's a far better delivery the second time, obviously, in towards that near post area. Simone McGill. It's a left back. It's actually, sorry, it's not the left back. It's Sultana, one of the forwards, who made the challenge. I think Lipman had also gone to ground. And in your eyes, is that a penalty kick?
I'd say so. I think she's clipped her, and then Simone's hit her own heel, but I definitely think there's contact there.
Well, Simone McGill will no doubt be looking back at some of these incidents and feel that she perhaps should have had a penalty and a goal, but will Northern Ireland rue those opportunities or those decisions? Vance.
Swan's feet, well done.
Plays it in towards McGill, who has been a constant threat, especially taking up that kind of position. Ferrugia comes out with it, and the referee is allowing a few robust challenges in there. No complaints from Simone McGill at last attack, but Ferrugia, in another circumstance, could well have been penalised for that. Here's Rafferty. 5 minutes played in this second half. Hamilton. Back to Rafferty. Patience was certainly prevalent in the first half for Northern Ireland. McKenna just about keeps it in play, and then Lipman had to time that perfectly, because I think it was Andrews was in the other side of her, and I don't think she was aware of that. Let's look back at that McGill chance from another angle. It's a left heel, I think, of Simone McGill, and there's certainly contact. The one thing I would say about the referee is that for the two big calls, she has been very well positioned and has been adamant on both occasions. There's been no indecision there at all. McCarran. Good pass to find Wade. McGill can't get it under control. It was a difficult one to deal with behind her. And here is Rafferty. Cara Hamilton wants it out the far side. Malta being pegged back, and you can see the manager furious with that. Wants her side to push up and hold on to the ball, something they've really struggled to do throughout the 52 minutes of this game. Caldwell. Inside to McCarran. McGill. Can't link up with Marissa Callahan. you feel Northern Ireland are knocking on the door?
Yeah, we are. I think we've upped the tempo. We're moving it from side to side again. We're switching play, and we're not just being so one-dimensional. So, yeah, hopefully we can create an opportunity soon.
Caldwell just typifies that. Look how many Northern Ireland players are inside the Malta half, and they're just being pushed back and pushed back. There's that pass that Northern Ireland have attempted on a few occasions in behind for the full-backs.
The only thing I'd say there, and Wade had done it last second, was 4 or 5 of us were standing on the back line. We need some movement. Wade had dropped in the pocket last second, and that's what we maybe need to do to get on the ball. But yeah, a bit more movement in the final third.
And is perhaps going to be maybe not the likes of a McGill or a Wade who are up top. That kind of late run from the likes of Mr. Callahan that proves to be key.
Yeah, Marissa and Jolie, they've got legs. They can do the runs in behind. And that's if, say, Samoan Wader comes into feet and then we stretch them. But yeah, we need a little bit more movement up top.
And that certainly looks to be the tactic. And on that occasion, the ball was just in between Wade and Vance. I think Tanya Oxtoby may well have just given the signal for a change. And interesting to see the likes of Megan Bell warming up. Is Kerry Halliday perhaps the other player over there?
Yeah, she is.
Young player who's made a big impact and a real impression, it seems, on the manager.
Yeah, I've heard she's had a very good week's training, so it'd be very good to see her get an opportunity tonight.
Fast tracked from the under-19s. And that pathway is certainly working. It seems that the close working relationship between the senior side and the under-19s.
Yeah, I think the door's always open, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're good enough, you'll be up there. And I think Kerry has showed that she's really took our opportunity this last couple of camps. And yeah, the fact we're talking about her potentially getting on, I think is excellent.
Farouja's down, and I think Northern Ireland are going to play it out here. She's in real pain below us. Ball does make its way out of play, and the referee across to see if she's okay. It's Sultana, actually, not Farouja, clutching her right knee. Went down straight away. Actually, it's not her knee. It looks to be a hamstring, but felt it right away. So Malta may well be forced into a change. You know, Northern Ireland aren't blessed with a huge number of players playing, particularly across the water in a professional environment. So, you know, identifying those young players who can maybe make a step up, how important is that to, first of all, offer that pathway from a perspective of hope, but also just to see who's out there and maybe cast the net wider than it's ever been cast before.
Yeah, I think it's really important. You've seen a lot of new faces in this camp, and you know, Brenna, Connie, they've come over from England and they're playing in professional sides, and you know, then you've got the likes of Kerry Halliday stepping up, and it's just got to give the girls hunger to go and play at the highest level. And you've just seen there, Kerry's coming on. I think it's fantastic that she's going to get over 30 minutes under her belt, and that just shows that she has had a great week's training, that she's getting the opportunity to come on and try and win the game for us.
Megan Bell as well, preparing to be introduced. Kaylee Willis is going to come on for Malta. She's another one of the opposition players who plays in Italy for Venezia. 3 goals in her 8 caps so far for the 20-year-old. Another one to look out for. I think she's likely to play through the middle, so it'll be very much a like-for-like scenario. Do you feel it's also something that Northern Ireland will do maybe more in terms of look at eligibility and look at the Republic of Ireland squad and some of the players they've brought in, if you want to compete at that very, very highest level?
Yeah, I think it's something that Tanya is going to look at, but for me, if I'm a home-based girl based in Northern Ireland, I use that as motivation to you know, get into the squad to go and play professionally and really stand out there, because if not, then the pool is going to have to be bigger, and that means we might have to look elsewhere.
Obviously, it's the same in the men's game when you look at some of the players who've come in for Northern Ireland through parents or grandparents in the last year or so. Working very well with the likes of Conor Bradley and Trey Hume. Two local guys who've found their feet. Bradley, of course, at Liverpool, and Trey Hume at Sunderland.
Yeah, and with that, it's all about leading the way. So now they are role models for the young boys coming through and the young girls to go and try and play at the highest level. And I know the game is continuing to progress here in Northern Ireland, but at the minute, it's something that we need to look at.
Well, it's kind of where you got the nickname from, Game Changers, because you did change not just change the way you played football, but also maybe changed what young girls felt was possible and young boys felt was possible within the sport of football, and in terms of making a career out of it. And you've seen countless members of the squad who came through domestically getting that chance over in England and Scotland now.
Yeah, 100%. And we wanted to inspire the next generation, and you've got the next generation in Kerry Halliday right here, so it shows that it is working.
Wearing that number 10 jersey, just keeping it warm for you.
Do you know what, the kid deserves it, so I hope she does really well in it tonight.
Tries to spread it across to the far side. Here's Megan Bell, another one of the substitutes with those fresh legs. Wade can't get it across into the middle, and straight away it's evident that Megan Bell was continuing that run and trying to provide support for the front two of Wade and Simone McGill. Demi Vance just pushes Halliday in towards the penalty area. Young player scored a lot of goals for Linfield domestically. Certainly hasn't looked out of place at this level.
No, she hasn't, and we spoke about it earlier on, the bravery to get on the ball. She's brave, she wants to get on the ball, and that's why she's been given the opportunity tonight. She's not overwhelmed by it, she wants to get on and play, and she's raw, and that's what we need. We need something a bit different in this game. 14
league goals last season, made her debut in the 4-0 away victory in the Nations League against Albania. This is camp number 3 for her. And a real sign of what Tanya Oxtoby thinks about her, the fact that in that playoff she brought Kerry Halliday on at a really key time in the game. Farrugia. Northern Ireland had to be careful here. There's a runner outside. Pushed away from Golo Boheja. And across comes Jackie Burns to clean things up. Better pass, and that could have been a better opportunity, because it certainly looked to be on for Malta. And just a little warning sign as we pass the hour mark that whilst Northern Ireland have had the better of this game, they still haven't found a net, and Malta do have dangerous players in that final third. Well, one in the air by Rafferty. McGill.
I think we need to be aware, as much as we're possessing the ball, our rest defence, that we don't commit maybe too many numbers forward, because it was 2v1 there for Malta, and they should have really done better with that opportunity. And
it was at the feet of the player you had wanted to, and Boheja.
Yeah, I think that touch just took her a bit wide, which then took the shot away from her, but it's definitely a warning sign.
Hasn't really been in the game.
No, and that's credit to our girls that we've kept such a prolific goal scorer right now quiet, and yeah, we need to make sure we continue to do that.
Rafferty finds Vance, and well, there were opportunities to switch it. Instead, Northern Ireland go down this left-hand side, and it's easily broken up.
I think we'll have to look where the space is. First half especially, we switched it, and we continue to switch to create the space, and like you just said there, we've went down the one side, and that's where Malta's numbers are. We're playing into the numbers. We need to play a bit smarter.
Demi Vance felt her jersey was being pulled down. Should have been a free kick. Wasn't given, but it's resulted in a throw-in anyway for Northern Ireland. Just a reminder, Malta are the lowest ranked team in the group. Portugal and Bosnia and Herzegovina, the other two sides. Northern Ireland will make the trip there on Tuesday to take on Bosnia. Match you can, of course, watch live on BBC Northern Ireland. It's a little bit more adventurous from the visitors. Rebecca McKenna looked to be the underdog there, but given her work rate, managed to win the throw-in, and she really is an old school right back in that sense. Loves defending, loves getting involved in a tackle. Still got a little bit stagnant, a little bit predictable from both sides.
We look a bit frustrated out there.
So how do you get the spark in that situation?
I think just gain control. We're rushing it, we're giving the ball back far too easily. We need to get it and move it, and that's when we build in confidence. For me, I'd like to see Chloe McLaren get on the ball a bit more. I think she should really start to dictate the middle of the park. So, yeah, I think she's...
What's going to hurt?
Yeah, I think if
there's a bit of venom in that clearance from Demi Vance. A little bit of frustration, perhaps, as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think if Chloe looks to get on it now, she can switch play, open up.
But just the touch gave Willis the opportunity to win it back. It was a difficult one for Chloe McCarran to deal with there, and it's given Malta an opportunity in a corner kick. And it's exactly the point you've been making, that at times Northern Ireland, perhaps whilst they've been dominant, have been architects of their own downfall a little bit.
Yeah, we have. With Chloe will know she's better than that. Technically, Chloe's very good, and I think that was an opportunity to switch, and yeah, she just couldn't quite get it under control, and now we've presented Malta with an opportunity.
Cuscieri, the Sampdoria player, will take the resulting corner kick. Oh, and it could easily have resulted in a goal. I think it was Farrugia who attacked that near post area. Plenty of Northern Ireland players around her, but it was the Malta defender who got first contact and forced it goalwards. Don't know if she knew too much about it. Seemed to almost come off her thigh.
I think right now Chloe's on.
Bell switches across to Vance. Rafferty. Moved quickly to Lauren Waite. Here's Halliday. Again, it's given away. And the right back moves it forward. Willis has made an impact since coming off the bench. A big presence up there.
She has, and when Malta get on the ball, they're good in possession. They're not just, they're holding on to the ball to get numbers forward. So.
Lovely turn from Simone McGill. This could open up now for Halliday. Wade's in the middle. Halliday pushed away from goal and just apologised. Knew she didn't get the necessary contact in the cross, but when Simone McGill collects the ball like that and can open her body up like that, Northern Ireland looks so dangerous.
Yeah, they do, and I'd have loved to have seen Kerry just drive with the ball there, heat up the space.
Here's Willis. Across to Ferrugia, twisting and turning. Tried to thread it through the middle, but McKenna was well positioned, and it's just another example that, you know, if Malta click in the final third, Northern Ireland could be in trouble.
Yeah, we could, and the game's getting a little bit transitional, so we need to get control, settle it down, and dictate.
And that's exactly what Northern Ireland have been doing for long periods of this game. They've played it in their own terms, and just looking across, I think there's going to be another couple of changes in the bench there. Doubleheader, of course. There's a tactics board out as well for the new arrival. Little bit subdued now at Windsor Park.
Great.
McGill, who's going to get there first. McGill didn't. The goalkeeper, credit to her, came off her line very quickly, and it forced McGill to try and flick it across with the outside of her right foot rather than take a touch. Lippman is down. There was a little bit of contact between striker and goalkeeper, but Malta are temporarily down to 10. Lippman back on her feet, but is really struggling. Thinks she's going to go down again now.
I don't quite know what happened there, but just before that, it was an excellent ball by Demi to play Simone in, and we need a bit more of that.
I think Lippman's evening is over. Certainly that's a message she seems to be given to the bench. Tanya Oxtoby just calling the players across, and sometimes this can be good when there's a break and 20 minutes to go. It lets you reset, it lets you maybe get that message onto the pitch and try and figure out what maybe hasn't quite been clicking. Plenty of live sport tomorrow on BBC Northern Ireland. Sports on air from 2 o'clock with all the action in the NIFL Premiership. Live on TV from the Oval. Glentoran taking on Linfield on BBC Two television. That game kicks off at 5:30. Can Glentoran gain revenge for their defeat in the Irish Cup semi-final just over a week ago? Here is the big call from the first half, as McGill's goal was disallowed, and it is going to be a first international cap for Connie Schofield. Brought into the squad for this camp. She's of London City Lionesses. What do you know about her, and what will she bring to the unit overall?
Yeah, I've heard she's very, very dynamic, loves to run and get on the ball, and has been really welcomed into the camp. I've heard she's a very, very great girl, hard-working, so I'm excited to see what she can bring.
Wearing the number 21 jersey. Cara Hamilton making way. Looks like Carrie Halliday's now moved across to the right-hand side in place of Hamilton. Schofield isn't going to get an end of that ball, and you can see just on the edge of your shot, Lippman walking around the pitch, and she has been replaced by Rappa. So it's a blow at the back for Malta. Lippman has been a real leader, has been dominant back there.
Yeah, Northern Ireland really have to capitalise on that. You know, the captains went off, the leader. We need to test Malta a lot more.
Rappa on. She's the closest player right now to Lauren Wade. Caldwell does well in the air. Nice touch from Willis. Lovely touch from Willis to take it under control and then play it inside. But it's well read by Northern Ireland. And the referee initially played on, and well, there's a card for Megan Bell. You can see what she's saying to the Italian referee. And is the first player to go into the referee's book. There was certainly no contact there. Is the referee saying there's intent there? Because it looks as if Megan Bell thought the ball was there, realised it's not there, pulls back, and the referee has given it for intent as Burns comes off her line and needed to. Farrugia. Good goalkeeping from Burns, and suddenly it opens up for Halliday. Bale. First time ball in towards McGill, too much on it. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. There's another look at that bit of goalkeeping. It's brave goalkeeping. Willis again, the player who's closest. You kind of wonder why she didn't start the game. She's certainly been a focal point up top and has been an outlet as well for Malta since coming on. Schofield. McCarran. Gets it back again before having a go. That's better from McCarran. It's a really good stop. Zureb getting across to it and pushing that effort away. Had a chance in the first half that was just too high. That one was certainly on target and tested the Malta number one.
Yeah, it was a lot better by Northern Ireland. We've got it, we've switched it, we've had a few little 1-2s and it's created opportunity. We've moved the ball fast and Malta can't cope with that.
Nice link-up play between McCarran and Bell. Here comes the resulting corner kick as a manager looks on. Halliday plays it in towards the near post and it's easily dealt with by Zureb, who will just take the sting out of it after that McCarran opportunity. Hasn't been called into action that much, but has been very accomplished so far when you think back at a couple of those saves from Simone McGill and then that diving one from McCarran. Can certainly hit them, Chloe McCarran. It's perhaps a little bit surprising she only has that one international goal. It was a screamer as Northern Ireland go on the attack again. McCarran. Schofield. Plenty of movement in there from the home players. Caldwell. Vance. Not afraid to take on her opponent and wins herself a throw it. Time ticking down. 13 minutes to go. Northern Ireland would dearly love to kick off their qualifying campaign with a victory. Halliday. Rafferty, good ball to find Bale. Can she pick out McGill in the middle? Good goalkeeping again. McGill attacked that near post and credit to Zureb. Held on to it under pressure, and you can see that Simone McGill is appreciative of the build-up play. Malta's goalkeeper, very accomplished, very confident and reassuring at the back. May well have hurt herself whilst making that save, but again, It's exactly what you've been referring to time after time, Rachel. When Northern Ireland move it through the lines, when they move it quickly, when they maybe take that chance, they're cutting Malta apart.
Yeah, we are, and in that there, I think Meg she could have pulled it back. I think Simone's run has took the defender away, which has created the space behind her. Because if Simone's getting on it there, it's a very tight angle. So for me, if Meg just has a little look up, I think it was Wader and Schofield coming in behind. I think, you know, that's a tap in. So yeah, we just maybe need to be a bit smarter.
Malta's medical team just making sure that the goalkeeper's okay. At the other end, Jackie Burns, arms crossed, watching the game unfold. We'll be happy enough if things stay just as quiet for her. Rafferty. Play it out towards Vance. She can't find a teammate. 3 Northern Ireland players around Farrugia. And Rappa, the substitute, unable to force it forward towards Borg. No real urgency from Demi Vanson, the home side, trying to take this through it.
I think Demi needs more movement around her.
And you can see that's exactly the point she's making.
Yeah. It's very frustrating. We're letting Malta get set and mark us. If we play it quick, they're not set. We've got more options. But yeah, very frustrated.
Here is Wade. Crowd out of it again. Credit to Malta that they played so much of this match on the back foot, but have still managed to put pressure on the ball when Northern Ireland have found themselves in decent positions. There's the supporters willing on the home side, hoping for a winner in the last 10 minutes. Be a lovely way to start the group. As Vance just used her body and her strength to out-muscle Farrugia, who's now drifted across to this right-hand side after the arrival of Willis. McKenna. Plenty of time for Northern Ireland to find a goal. Farrugia. Now it's Willis.
You can just see we're getting a bit spread. The distances between the lines are far too big.
And is that, sorry, why is that? Why do you feel that is?
I think the girls, I wouldn't say a panic setting in, but they know there's 10 minutes to go. And so they feel maybe a bit rushed and they're letting the game get spread. We need to stick to the game plan, get back on the ball. 10 minutes is a long time in football. Stick to the game plan.
Forcing it a wee bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Caldwell. A little bit more dialogue in the bench. You wonder if Tanya Oxtoby's thinking about making one final change. Doesn't quite come off for Halliday. The ball is going to drift, I suspect, out of play unless Jackie Burns doesn't want it to, which she doesn't.
I think we need to do more of that, though. I know Kerry didn't quite get it under control, but we seem to be getting it and just playing it wide, whereas Chloe needs to get on it. We need to play a bit more centrally, then go wide. We're being just a bit too predictable at the minute.
Create the overlap, and here's McKenna. There's exactly the point you're making. Easy for the left back to recover in that situation because they don't have to make up too much room. Schofield. Can she make it an international debut to remember with some late heroics here? Willis. One back though from Halliday. Nice link-up play between Schofield and Halliday on the far side. Pressure still on. Throw-in has gone to Malta. We've spoken throughout this game about Northern Ireland just needing a spark, needing something to happen. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck. Sometimes, you maybe let that decision before half-time affect things, but Northern Ireland came out after the break, had plenty of the ball again, and I wonder how much Tanya Oxtoby, I wonder if she's even aware when she talks about this game afterwards, if she's seen the incident before the break or if she's spoken to the referee. Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe the referee felt it was, an infringement rather than a handball, but certainly from where we were, that appeared to be the suggestion as to why she disallowed that goal just before the break.
Swan's feet.
Just over 5 minutes to go. And that, in many ways, kind of sums up the point that you were making about going down the wing rather than maybe playing it inside the Simone McGill and looking for the runner's offer.
Yeah, I think if we play it centrally, just to work off, you draw Malta out. Whereas at the minute they're very much set, and we was trying to force it down the wings when they're set and ready to defend. We need to draw them out to then play in the spaces, and then it'll create space out wide.
2 wins in the last 6 games for Northern Ireland in all competitions. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but England are the only team to hold Northern Ireland scoreless in their last 13 competitive games at home. Ferrugia. Away by Schofield. Nice touch from McCarron to find Bale, just cushioning it into her path.
Get up.
Schofield linking up with Halliday, but it's so congested in that area of the pitch again.
I think on a whole it's been very positive compared to the Montenegro game. How we've controlled the game at times, possessed the ball and moved it very well. We're just missing a goal.
That would certainly be the icing on top after this performance. A very controlled display. Malta have had a couple of half chances, but never really looked like threatening Jackie Byrne's goal. Good strength from Bell. Plays it in behind, looking for Wade. Cut out though by Ferrugia. Three minutes to go. I think there is going to be one more change, and the decision this time goes against Demi Vance.
I don't think she's done anything wrong there. I think
that's good. That was the question I was going to ask you.
No, absolutely not. She stood her ground, and Demi's a strong girl. So for me, that's very soft from the referee.
I think is it perhaps Emily Wilson who's getting ready to come on? I can't quite see from this distance. Gonna have to be quick about it because there only are a couple of minutes left in this game.
Keep driving.
McKenna. Pass asked a lot of Caldwell, but she did very well just to lift it round Willis and then keep a hold of the ball. And here comes the change. It is Wilson. Wasn't actually in the initial squad. Kerry Beattie was forced to pull out, and her Glentoran teammate Emily Wilson took her place now. She has, what, 90 seconds plus injury time to try and find a goal. It's Lauren Wade who makes way, as Rafferty plays it back to Burns. Caldwell. Rachel Furness gesturing with her hand, telling the players to get it up the pitch.
I just think you've got to look at the space there. Dino has got so much space to eat up. Malta are just set. They're ready for that long ball. Eat up the space, draw them out, then slide.
Well, I looked across at the tackle area, and Tanya Oxtoby was doing exactly the same.
Must be the jacket.
It must be the, yeah, must be the jacket. But also you can understand why she will feel frustrated, particularly in the latter stages. And when you look at the game overall and look at the opportunities, have Northern Ireland created enough opportunities in this game to justify claiming all 3 points on paper? I mean, that's a thing that I'm sure she will look at and consider.
Yeah, I'd love to say we have, but unfortunately, through all the possession, we haven't created too many clear-cut chances. Chloe's strike was a good one, but yeah, nothing too clear-cut that I can remember.
Into the final few seconds, all eyes now will be on the fourth official. We're in injury time. There'll be 5 additional minutes. Simone McGill didn't give up, and the goalkeeper comes out to claim it. So 5 minutes for Northern Ireland to try and find what you suspect will be a winner. Temperatures dipping a little bit in and around the stadium as evening falls. And Northern Ireland give the ball away. A Malta goal would be very unfortunate and fair given the amount of ball in possession that the home side have had. Acres of space in this near side. Link up from Simone McGill. Work towards Wilson. Her first opportunity to run at the full-back. Twisting and turning 3 around her. Played towards that near post, and McGill couldn't get her toe to it. But there was that energy from Wilson to try and make something happen. Malta just taking their time over the clearance. Here's Vance. Emily Wilson.
Switch it.
Back to Rafferty. We've played 2 minutes of injury time. Pass is cut out from Caldwell. Manager willing her side on. Rafferty to Wilson. Plenty of bodies forward. One of them is McGill, who just tried to spin her marker. It's just started in the other game in the group between Portugal and Bosnia and Herzegovina. France lead the Republic of Ireland 1-0 after an hour. No goals in Belfast though up to this point. Will there be a grand finale? Vance has made a good run. Rappa got there though, tracked it all the way. Wilson. Ferrugia. Played out to the far side. And Cushieri. Vital interception from Rafferty to deny Willis, who now gets on the ball and wins a corner kick for Malta. You would suspect that this is going to be it in this game. One last chance at Windsor Park, and it looks like it's going to fall to the visitors.
I don't understand. We should have made a tactical foul. We've let run far too much with the ball and gain too much territory.
Taken short, and well, Malta happy enough to leave here with a point. Will that come back to bite them? Very odd from Malta, but perhaps an insight into their game plan for this match. Aren't too many international sides at 0-0 in their opening game that would decide to do that. Will it create a glimmer of an opening for Northern Ireland? Malta, it seems, very happy to leave Belfast with a point. And that is how it looks like it is going to end up. The referee just had a little glance at her watch. We've played 5 minutes. And there are celebrations from the Malta players at the draw. They are delighted. Northern Ireland feeling very different emotions. They dominated large sections of this match at home against Windsor Park. Simone McGill had a goal disallowed in the first half, had a penalty shout in the second, and Chloe McCarron probably claimed closest for the home side. But Jackie Burns and her teammates are going to begin their European qualifying campaign with a point and a scoreless draw here at Windsor Park. There's confirmation of the result, Rachel, and well, the final whistle said it all. Malta celebrate, Northern Ireland, it almost felt like a defeat given the performance overall.
Yeah, it does, and yeah, it just shows Malta are really happy with the point, and I guess that just shows how teams, playing against us now. Malta have come here, the underdogs, and they've come away with a point, and I'm standing here a bit frustrated myself. Gutted for the girls because we've dominated. And I think in the past when we've been the underdogs, we've defended well and we've maybe made the most of 2 or 3 opportunities. But now we possess the ball so well, we really need to work on creating opportunities against low blocks, against hard to beat teams, and it's something that I know Tanya will reflect on and ask and pose another challenge to the girls, because we want to be winning games like this.
Well, confirmation of the full-time scoreline here at Windsor Park in this Euro 2025 qualifier. It has finished Northern Ireland 0, Malta 0. And Rachel, the big talking point from this game, the big talking point at half-time was this one. We watched it time and time and time again. Should that have stood?
100%. I think if you look at Emma Lipman's boot, I think it's the top of our studs that catch the ball, and the referee thinks it's Simone's hand. But for me, you just see there clearly it's our boot, which then knocks Simone's hand with the follow through, but Simone doesn't touch the ball. For me, yeah, we've been robbed of a goal there.
And how big an impact does that have in the game overall? Not to make excuses, but it's a completely different game if it's won than Northern Ireland at half-time.
Yeah, it is. And Malta went in at half-time 0-0, and they've celebrated like they've won the game. So, yeah, if we go in 1-0 up, then they might, you know, roll over second half maybe, because it might have been an uphill battle for them second half. But yeah, they've hung on to that, and credit to them. They've defended well. They've frustrated us and limited to us to not many clear-cut chances.
We have already spoken about the process and what it means looking ahead. The fact is that as long as Northern Ireland don't finish bottom of the group, they do get a playoff. But if Malta are the lowest ranked team within the group, they will look upon this as something to build on for the opposite fixture when it happens towards the end of the campaign, actually on the 12th of July away in Malta, and an opportunity perhaps to try and cause an upset and try and get into the playoffs themselves. Obviously we don't know what's going to happen with Bosnia and Portugal, but how much importance does it also put then in Tuesday's game?
Yeah, it does, and it's international football. There's pressure on every game, and we want to pick up points early on in this campaign, and going away to Malta, it's going to be very difficult conditions, and they'll take a lot of belief and confidence from this performance, because they didn't just sit back, they created opportunities and got bodies forward at times tonight. So yeah, there's a lot that they can take from tonight, going into the away fixture.
No goals here at Windsor Park, but let's look at what's coming up on BBC Northern Ireland in the coming days. Sports Sound on air from 2 o'clock on BBC Sounds and also on BBC Radio Ulster. The best of the action in the NIFL Premiership. Then it's live TV from 5:30 of a kick-off. Coverage gets underway at 5:15. Glentoran taking on Linfield. A crucial game at the top of the Sports Direct Premiership. Can Glentoran get revenge after an Irish Cup defeat this day last week? That's live on BBC Two Television. Stephen Watson joined by Stephen Cregan and David Jeffrey. Colin Coates will be alongside me on co-commentary for that one. BBC Two Television and the iPlayer tomorrow evening. On Sunday, it's an early kick-off in the Challenge Cup. Montpellier taking on Ulster. That's on BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Ulster. And also getting underway on Sunday, the Championship. The preliminary round game sees Monaghan and perhaps even Rory Beggan facing Cavan. A big rivalry between those two counties. BBC Two Television from 20 to 4 for that one. But from here at Windsor Park, Northern Ireland huffed and puffed. They had plenty of the ball, but they couldn't find any goals in this European qualifier. They start their campaign with a point. Final score here at Windsor Park, Northern Ireland 0, Malta 0. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.